Hello, let's go for lecture 4, making the first charts. Task 1, let us upload the data from height, weight, gender. Okay. Right click, save link as, and height, weight, gender. So save it. Now open Excel and then File, Open, Browse, go for Downloads, that's where our file is, and try to go for all files. Then you will see height, weight, gender. It's somewhere here. Delimited is what you choose. Next. Everything looks good, so no need to go for any of comma or space. Then finish it. Here we have the height, weight, gender populated. Let's go to lines. Here it says that split the screen using the procedure described earlier, and do not forget to scroll the lower part of the screen to the bottom of the data file. So let us split the screen somewhere here, let's say at 20, and splitting the screen, go to View, Split. So let us scroll down to the end. Okay, so let us do that quickly. This is 1001, that's the last row, and first row is number 2. So we are good now. Highlight the data in 2 columns, title, head, and weight. Follow the procedure. Click on upper left corner of data you want to highlight, in this case word height. Click, hold shift button, click the lower right corner of the data that you want to highlight up to. So you can highlight in this way, and last time we have seen, so I want to highlight from number 1 up to, let's suppose, 16th column. Then click here, shift, then go for 16. Thus we get all the data. Okay, that's what it says. And if you want to highlight the columns, just simply click on the column. So here you can see that if we hover our mouse over the column number A, then you can see a small arrow. Okay, you can see the small arrow. Click there, all the entire column A will be copied. And simply, if you left click and drag it, then it will expand the selection. Okay. Now to make scatter plot, click on scattered insert tab. Okay, so now here we will try to come up with scatter plot. So for that, let us try to choose height and weight. So do the same thing, hover on top of column A and drag it just to expand up to column B. So height and weight is chosen. Now go for insert and click on charts. So either you can just press this one, since this is the scatter button, or you can go for this one, the small arrow button at the right end. Then you will see there are a lot of recommended charts. Okay, and you can go for scatter chart. So here scatter chart is chosen, so let's click on OK. Alright, now here you can see that we have gotten the scatter plot, but no one will truly understand what lies in here, what's the data, and there is a whole lot of empty space somewhere here, around here. So to make this scatter plot a bit visually appealing, so we would just change the title as height and weight. Height and weight. Now we don't have any name for the y-axis, neither do we have any name for x-axis. So to avoid that situation, click on plus, and here we have axis title, so put a tick mark here, then we get axis title here. So this axis title is the weight of the person. So this would be weight in pounds, right? So that would be lbs. Similarly, if you click here, then we know that the x-axis is the height, okay, in inches. So that's in. Okay, that's good. Since what we can understand, what we know here by default is the first column that we have chosen is the x-axis, and by default the second column will be y-axis. Okay, so now once we have done this, now click on plus again, and there we have axis. Okay, now you can see this small arrow at the right end, so click on that, and then you click on more options. Now you can see the formatting options in the right hand side. Click on this bar graph, then you will get axis options. Now you should be able to change the maximum and minimum limits of x-axis. So for us, let us go for 45. Okay, 45 would be the initial, so let's go for that and press enter. So this 70 is automatically created due to the scatteredness of data. Okay, now once we have done that, we also want to manage the maximum and minimum value of y-axis. So for that, you click on any number in here, then you can see that this levels are selected. So then you can click the minimum. So minimum would be somewhere around 125. Let's go for that. Okay, then you can see that it has automatically written down 195. So that sounds good. Let's again go to limes. So we have done that, and now okay, so we have already finished left task number 2 also. Okay, now we want to produce the following chart: male versus female. Okay, this kind of chart. So for that, let us delete this chart, and now what we do is we also delete the splitting thing, get rid of the splitting thing, and now so choose the first cell A1 and then go to data and click on filter. Okay, and once we have done that, then you press on this small drop down menu in the gender, okay, in column C. So deselect all and select 1. Okay, so that's good. Now you have certain number of data just for 1. Okay, and we don't know whether 1 represents male or female, but it's likely that 1 represents female. Select column A, B and C. Once we have done that, Control C copies it, and then after that choose this small circle which has a plus inside it. That will give us another worksheet. So click on that. That's it, number 1, and Control V. That will paste everything. Okay, so once we have done that, then let us create a chart for this one. Choose the first 2 things, okay, and go for insert. Again the same thing, click on this one, which will give us scatter plot, and choose the default or primary scatter plot. Okay, so we apply the same kind of things that we have done before. So let us look at it. So here this is female. Okay, gender number 1 is female, so let us write female. And here we can see that we don't have any labels for we don't have any labels for axis, so let us click on that. Then it will give us axis titles. This one is height in inches, and in y-axis we have weight in pounds. Right, once we have done that, press this plus button, okay, and in this chart elements menu, then you can just hover on top of axis, then click on this small arrow, okay, this is small arrow, so click there and go for more options. Okay, once we have done that, click on this bar like thing, click there and go for axis options. So we are good. Just like last time, let's go for 45. Okay, so it has changed somehow. Now again, to change the minimum and maximum range for y, you choose on any number, then it will select all of this. Then you go for chart option again, chart and text options and axis options, then that will give us 125. Okay, then let us set minimum as 125 and click enter. Okay, so now we can see that it's somehow readable. Okay, so that sounds good. Let's again go to the original height, weight, gender file, and to select the gender number 2, which is male. So click on this drop down menu in the gender column, so select all and deselect number 1, then gender number 2, male is chosen, so click on OK. Again the same thing, let us choose these 3 columns A, B and C. Hover on top of A, you will see small arrow downwards, pointing downwards. Click on there and left click, drag it, then you will see everything is selected. So then Control C, that copies this thing, and go to worksheet number 1 and choose any 3 column somewhere near the first data and click Control V. That's paste. Okay, so in this first data set we have gender number 1, female, and this is the second set, gender number 2, male. Okay, so now let's again do the same thing. Okay, let's try to let's create a scatter plot from this data. So choose these 2 columns, okay, by hovering on top of column E and drag it to select F. So once we are done with that, then go for insert and charts. Then you can see there are a lot of charts, so go for the first scatter plot. Okay, now we have our, okay, now we can see our new chart, okay, which is for male. So here let's edit it. So this is male, and here we don't have any axis levels, so go for that. Click on plus and then tick mark the axis titles. Then we will see axis title on x-axis and y-axis, so click to name it properly. So which means this y-axis is weight and it is measured in pounds, and x-axis is the height in inches, height in inches. Okay, so looks good until now. but we want to remove these spaces from here and here. So click on plus and hover on top of axis, click on the right arrow button, then choose more options. Okay, once we have done that, you will see there's format axis. Click on this graph like thing, click there, and axis options. So minimum bound for the x-axis would be, let's go for 50. That's what I see, and press enter. Now it has automatically chosen the range 50 to 70. Okay, now to change the range of y-axis, click on any number in y-axis. Then you will see the minimum is 0 and maximum is 200. That's the range of y-axis. Okay, so here it's better to choose 125. Let me choose 125 and see what happens. Okay, so I hope we are good. Yeah, it looks good. So we are done with our two different charts, male and female. Okay, so let's choose female. Control C, that copies it. Control C copies it, and then choose male. Okay, and press Control V on top of male. Okay, press Control V, that's paste, once you have chosen the female. Okay, once you have selected female, then you can see that this blue represents the female and this orange represents the male. Okay, it says that the orange one is the male and blue ones are the females. Okay, so let's click on plus and go for legend. Okay, once we have done that, then you can see the legend. Okay, but it simply says wait. So what can we do is, this can be changed by changing the column name for dataset first and second dataset. Okay, so here in this weight, change this to female since the first one was female, and click enter. Okay, and in second you change the weight to male and click enter. Then you can see the legends have been changed. By now we know how to draw a chart, how to combine the charts, and so on. Okay. All right, now here we have done that. Okay, so we got the male versus female, and okay, and finally don't forget to change the title, female versus male or something, or male versus female. Now at the end of lecture 4, compute the average height and standard deviation for both males and females. Okay, average height and standard deviation. So here let's go to the original height, weight, gender and get rid of these data filters. So go to data, click on filter, it will remove everything. Now just select the column C and go to home. Okay, then you can see somewhere at the top right you can see sort and filter. So click that, then it says sort smallest to largest. Okay, so let's click on that, and here it asks do you want to expand the selection? Yeah, just do that. So expanding the selection means if this one is chosen, then it chooses 152 and 155 also. So the whole row is also chosen, not only this one. Okay, so sort it, then you can see all those ones are on the top, and after considerably many rows, okay, you can see that there's 2 starting here. Okay, then here you already if you want to go to the end of the data, then you can see, you can click Control End. So the last row of data is 1001. Okay, so since the first row is a header, so we neglect that, then our total data points is 1000. Okay, so let's go to home, and now let us split the screen. That would be better now. Okay, so if we split the screen somewhere here, let's choose this 20A, that cell, and go for data and split. Where's the split? Oh, sorry, go to view and click on split. Then we have that, and now let us go to the nearly end of the data. Okay, so that's 1001. And if you nearly go to the end of the data, then end of the data for end of the data here, then you can see that from second row up to 515, that's first gender, and from 516 up to 1001, that's the second gender. Okay, and now we need to find the average height and weight. Okay, so let's go for 500. So the last row of data for gender 1 is 515. Okay, we note that number 515. So here choose any empty cell and start to write down the formula. So equals to average, equals to average. Now choose any cell, then start to write down the formula average, average, and inside these two parentheses you start to write down the cells from where to where you want to calculate. Okay, so the first cell was A2, that's the cell of height. Okay, that's a starting cell, A2, and semicolon. Then we know that the last row for gender 1 was A515, so that's it. So click enter. Then this is our mean or average. Okay, so that is average height of females. That sounds good. Okay, so now here you can see that average height of females, the height of females is hiding somewhere. So go to column E and click near to the right, hover near to the right, then you can see this kind of sign. Okay, just like plus, and then you click on that twice, left click twice, so it automatically adjusts the width of the column. Similarly, standard deviation of height of females, standard deviation of that's height of females. Okay, then click on this empty cell, start to write STDEV, that's the formula for standard deviation, parenthesis start, again the same thing, A2 up to A515. Okay, so our average height of females is 54.50 and standard deviation of height of females is 2.08. Similarly, use the same formula to and go from A516 up to A1001 okay, to figure out the average and the standard deviation of the height of males. Okay, please do that yourself. Thank you.